Hi, I'm Doug, and these are Wycliffe's Words. My mom was a fine cook and baker. She enjoyed swapping recipes and experimenting with new dishes. Many of them were spectacular successes. Some of them were not. We don't speak of the salmon mousse. I remember one period when Mom was on a sourdough bread kick. She acquired some sourdough starter from one of her friends, and I can still see that little blue and white pot that sat in the sun on the kitchen windowsill to keep the cultures healthy and active. Although the sourdough concept has been around for about as long as people have been baking bread, many of us associate sourdough with the California gold rush and crusty old prospectors. That's why I was surprised to see the word sourdough leap out at me from the pages of a 600-year-old Bible. In Luke 12, Jesus is teaching a large crowd of followers. He turns to his disciples and he delivers a stern warning. Be careful, he says. Watch out for the sourdough of the Pharisees. Don't eat the Pharisees' bread? It's true that the Pharisees forbade the Jews from eating with the Gentiles. Was Jesus turning the tables and forbidding his disciples to eat with the Pharisees? That doesn't sound right. Then I got it. Sourdough isn't the bread. It's only an ingredient in the bread. It's the starter that starts to make the bread rise. It contains microorganisms that reproduce and spread throughout the dough. They metabolize the starches and sugars in the wheat. This produces little bubbles of carbon dioxide, which give bread its soft, spongy texture. Wycliffe called this stuff sourdough. The King James translators called it leaven, and modern translators refer to it as yeast. Beware the yeast of the Pharisees. Jesus used this analogy several times, repeatedly warning his disciples that sin is like a microorganism. It grows and it spreads, and eventually it affects everything it touches. And what's more, Jesus went on to identify the Pharisees' particular sin: hypocrisy. The Greek word means actor or pretender. The Pharisees pretended to be holy and righteous. They put on a good show, but their hearts were far from God. Perhaps that's why their sin was so dangerous. People want to emulate those whom they admire, and the Pharisees were the religious celebrities of their day. Everybody wanted to be like them. But Jesus warned his disciples to steer clear of them. Theirs was a shallow religiosity, not the sincere devotion that God requires. Observant Jews to this day cleanse their homes of every speck of yeast during the Passover. In the same way, we should root out every trace of sin in our lives. We should have nothing to do with empty religious displays and allow our righteousness to well up naturally as the overflow of a grateful heart. And those are Wycliffe's words. See you again next week.